The next tip we're jumping on top of is the Bleach tip. Bleach came back with straight fuego heat fire once again. It has been quite a pleasure to see what Bleach has cooking up. Um, when you really get into the nitty gritty of it, we got everybody pulling up together. We got Nalil came through, Grimjaw came through, the Fullbringers pulled up. Everybody came to run the Soul King's, not the Soul King, Yehabawa, the Almighty's Fae. Everybody got a beef with him, bro. You got the leftover Quincy's, everybody got a beef with him, bro. He's just not a very nice person. It's one of those things like when you stepped on a bunch of hands and heads to get to the top, it's not too crazy for you to not realize that those same hands and heads you stepped on are probably gonna try to get back on you. But I also understand that when you believe you've achieved, you are risen to a high enough position where those that you stepped on can't reach you, you don't give a goddamn. You don't give a motherfuck. And on a certain level, it's like, I see why he doesn't care. I see why he moved the way he moved. And it high key, low key definitely makes sense. Not what I would do. I have to make that objective, not what I would do, but I understand why he doesn't give a damn. And as we saw his flexing in the last episode, I don't think he needs to give a damn right now. Like, of course, because we know the power of friendship, Ichigo is coming through with the crew, that he needs to worry. But for the most part, I can also see why he's not concerned. Like, he literally terraformed the goddamn palace in 0.5 seconds. It happened so fast that people were like, yo, we was up here when he did this. We would have just died. He'll just suck the Reiki out of. Ooh. He would have sucked the Reiki out of us, and then we would just perish into nothing. It's like, oh damn, that's kind of fucking crazy. I love the back and forth of the psychological battle happening with the Soul Reapers thinking they could pull up and sneak him, but also realizing that he is continuing to grow in power since he's done the things he's done, aka devour his daddy. And how, it's one of those, it's not are we gonna win? If we can win, it has to be we're gonna go fight and we're gonna win. There's no room for doubt, there's no room for questioning things. You're facing overwhelming odds, and if you don't want to be here, go home. If you're scared, go to church. But everybody in the 13 court guards said we ain't pussy, so we pulling up with the strap to fuck. Yeah, I should have thought that out better before I started saying it. I'm not mad that I said it because it still tracks, but I could have used better phrasing there. I definitely could have used some better phrasing there. I ain't gonna hold you. My bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. So now we just gotta run a frontal fade attack on the Almighty. And one thing in that episode that really chapped my ass was this his goddamn first son was glazing the fuck out of him. Oh my God, he was on his knees gawking him up, talking about, yes, your highness, of course, your highness, only your greatness and your glory would be ever to terraform this place and so quickly. These foolish Shinigami soul reapers don't stand a chance against your glory, my father. All be to you. Oh, it's like, God damn, get this nigga some lotion in a room. Why are you glazing so hard? Oh my God. But what I will say about his glazing, what I will say about it is, hey man, it was elegant. He was speaking with an eloquence that I cannot mimic, for I lack the vocabulary to even have one iota of elegance that he displayed. Ooh, see, I almost got there, but he was just doing it, bro. If you haven't seen it, please go watch the last episode of Bleach so you can see how this man, his first son, was glazing the shit out of him. Like at one point, he almost accidentally kills all of them, and this man didn't flinch because, like, my father would never kill me. His power knows no bounds, and thus he wouldn't harm me on purpose. I had no reason to move. This one nigga's like, are you not scared? He's like, scared of what? Of the Almighty? My father? Never shall I be scared. I was like, all right, nigga, you doing the absolute most, but I ain't gonna hold you. It was kind of thugging. I think I'm kind of a hater in this, right? Because I don't like how he was glazing his daddy, but in the same breath, like if I had somebody that glazed me like that, I think I'd be way more successful. You need your glazers in life, bro. You need somebody who's gonna get down on their knees and sing your praises to the sky and elevate your standing, whether it's real or not. I need some of that in my life, bro. I do need some of that in my life. The Fullbringers come back, even though y'all told us. Yeah, I'm yelling at y'all. Dear Bleach community, I am officially mad at y'all. Y'all told us to skip the Fullbringer arc. Don't watch it. Y'all told us the Fullbringer arc is canon. It's canon, but it's boring. It's not important. Y'all told us the Fullbringer arc, we wouldn't have to worry about it because it's not gonna come back full circle. Yeah, Tight Kubo told y'all niggas you lied. You lied on his name. You lied on his arcs. You lied on everything that you thought you fucking knew. Because come full circle in the Blood War, guess who pulls up? The motherfucking Fullbringers. When he's talking about why Ichigo's the perfect candidate to do the things that he needs him to do, aka murder his pappy. What did they mention? He's part what? Human, Soul Reaper, Hollow, Quincy, Fullbringer. Y'all told me I didn't have to watch it. And then come full circle one more goddamn time. Let's make the fucking whirlpool go crazy. They bring back 2 Fullbringers so we could see them. And you need to know what their powers are, or else you're going to be lost as hell. Mind you, they did explain their powers in the episode. But if you didn't already know who the Fullbringer was, what the Fullbringers, who those 2 were, and what their power was, you wouldn't even be able to comprehend and truly understand what the hell was going on. So I tell you once again, dear Bleach community, from one Bleach fan to another, all y'all niggas who said the Fullbringer arc isn't necessary, all y'all niggas who said the Fullbringer arc was boring, XYZ, this, that, and the other, you lied. You lied, you lied, you lied. But I forgive you because you're a Bleach fan. And that's the only reason I forgive you. Whew! If it wasn't for that, whew, ashwagandha, slap shit at y'all. But anyways, yeah, Bleach, fantastic, beautiful show. Excited for what's to come next. I'm ready to run the fade on the Almighty. His eyes look creepy as hell, but I know we're about to get into some epic battles in these cityscapes. And honestly, the one thing I like about Bleach is we are not afraid to jump niggas. We are jumping everybody that we can jump. One-on-one fights? Who? Not if we can help it. Jumping niggas. So I look forward to what the dynamics are going to be in the next episode. And the Soul Reapers are now fighting at a disadvantage, knowing that the Reki is being sucked through the air because of the Almighty. There's certain things that we're gonna struggle to do in the density of this Reki, but I believe in the Soul Reapers' ability to overcome. I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of hard to say that one because it looks like overwhelming odds, but at the same time, there's some thugs, bro. There's some motherfucking thugs. Shout out to the boys and girls, especially the Bleach girls. Oh my god. But that's for another day. That's for another day. All right, the next tip. Oh, I was gonna say the last tip we're jumping on. One more. We got 2 more tips we getting on, and then this iceberg we're gonna let it go like Titanic. Next, we talk about DanDaDan. I don't know why I keep singing the song. I do know why I keep singing the song. It's a fire fucking song. But I'm gonna skip all that and I'm gonna jump right into what I gotta say about DanDaDan. I keep saying it every week. I'm saying it one more time. DanDaDan is that fucking show. If you're not watching it, you're missing out. I advise you to go back right now, start watching it. Watch it in sub, but also watch it in dub. Because the animation is so fire, you're going to miss a lot. It's worth watching in dub so you don't have to read and watch at the same time. Because there's certain things, every time I see a new clip from DanDaDan, I'm like, I didn't even see that. That's fucking fire. But to this last episode, Aira is a hilariously weird character. Her Chunny Boyo is that she's pretty and thus has been placed on this earth that grazes with her presence. But secretly, she might be a terrible person because, like, there's moments where, like, I'm like, oh, she's not that bad. And I'm like, no, but you can't say that. And I'm like, oh, you know what? She's out here giving these boys hope, but you can't call them trash after you give them hope. It's just a conflicting back and forth with her. I do enjoy that when she's with her friends, that she is just herself. It looks like for the most part, but to everyone else, she just kind of puts on airs. There's something about that I can kind of respect because we each have our own way of code switching depending on where we are, who we're with, and who we're around. Like the way I talk with my friends in private, I would never do that in the office with my coworkers type thing. The same way I talk, to my brother on the side, I would never be in front of my parents saying some of those words. I feel like Aira does some of those same things where she's one way with her friends, but to the world, she's like the perfect, prettiest, magical girl here to save us all. And yeah, she's weird. I do like her ideology that she gives hope to those with no hope. Those with no hope, a reason to hope. I kind of like that she says that. She talks to Like she's almost view her like Mother Teresa when she says something like that. She talks to the less fortunate. She feeds the hungry. She shakes hands with the ugly dudes and might take a picture, a cute picture with them that they keep in their phones forever, that they probably do some vile things to when nobody's looking, right? She is kind of, for lack of a better term, she's honestly kind of a little bit doing a public service. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's a little bit of a public service, but it's the underlying tone that she gives when she's doing the public service that makes her a terrible person. So I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna right there. Her Momo hate is actually kind of justified because, like, honestly, she thinks that Momo is a fucking demon. Like, I'm not saying that her spreading a rumor is okay. Definitely not okay. But like her trying to body Momo because she thinks she's a demon, like I don't even blame her. But the but yeah, it was just funny to me. I like the Turbo Oka. I like the Turbo Baba, the Oka Run, and Team Momo. Her and that cat body. It's a real funny and interesting dynamic because like she acts like she hates them, but she kind of fucks with them. But a little bit, she's kind of part of the team, but at the same time, she's kind of like a tag along. And I do like that in the end, she was actually trying to be helpful and not just being vengeful little Turbo Baba, for the lack of a better term. The fact that there was actually a strange lady following Aira, it really threw me off, but it was actually well foreshadowed. And I do like that they get the basis for why she's being followed was very easily and quickly put into the show. Aira lost her mother while she was young. One time she looked back and she saw a strange spirit. She called that spirit her mother. That spirit has been following her for her entire fucking life. Creepy as all hell. The spirit has been waiting for her to be able to see her, to approach her, which is scary as fuck when you think about it. You know when people talk about that snail, what if it follows us? You ever seen the movie It Follows Us, where there's this entity that's following you and it only goes at a certain speed. If it catches you, you're fucked. But if it doesn't catch you, you're fine. I feel like it was almost a play on that, where it's like until you can see me, I'm not gonna do nothing to you. I'm just gonna observe. But the moment she found Okaroon's nutsack, she started gaining access to that world, and yeah, it was GG's from there. It was fucking as scary as all fuck. The Momo jumping was actually epic because credit to her friends who kind of didn't want to go along with it but went along with it anyways. They actually took her ass down pretty well. That takedown looked painful and legit. It was like a good arm grab, leg sweep, face first. It could have broke her neck, honestly, but lucky for them, Momo was strong as hell. And then Momo tossed those hoes to the side like some dirty panties in on laundry day. And yeah, I hope they're okay, but we gonna see. Um, Moving forward, we gotta body this bitch. Long story short, I feel like she's not dead yet. I feel like we made progress on her. I think she's about to enter her phase 2 or phase 3, but I don't know what this lady wants exactly. She wants to be called Mama, Mommy. But if we can't do that, we gotta find a way to beat her ass. Cause yeah, she's although like objectively, like I thought she was kind of bad, and I think I said would at one point. At the same time, she's kind of wild, and I don't know if I would anymore. So I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to re-examine that. But again, in the wholesomeness of this show, one of my favorite parts of this episode was Okaroon finally realizing that Momo Ayes is kind of fucking cute, bro. And the moment he realized that she was cute, Mans was out the game, bro. He couldn't focus. He couldn't look at her. He really couldn't talk to her too much. But when it's important, when he needs to, he has the ability to. That's why I always give him credit. There's times where he turned into a taku cool and he's like, oh my God, I can't look this shot in her eyes. But then when her life is on the line, it's like, no, no, no. I need to look her in the face and say exactly what I need to say. So credit to him. So I'm excited to see how they move forward and what they're gonna do with that. But okay, all right. The last tip we're getting on is a surprising tip. Some of y'all might not agree with this tip, but our fucking Kane, bro, Arcane, after a 3-year hiatus, has dropped season 2, which I do believe is the last season of Arcane we're going to get from League of Legends. This is the show that came out before Edge Runners, where that got everyone excited, hopeful that shows about video games don't have to be bad. So Arcane was the first of that bunch. Then Edge Runners came out that really blew everybody's expectation out the water. So season 2 of Arcane is here now. And the episode 1 through 3 dropped. And so far, they've picked up where they left off and haven't really missed a beat. The subtleties in storytelling is as dope as ever. The scenery and imagery is fucking fire. The VAs are absolutely carrying. The explanation of the world building and the lore has been top tier as usual. I do feel like some of the relationship stuff we're progressing just a little bit slow, but that's okay because I'm not mad at it. It's already been established. I think a lot of the problems that a lot of the things that people yelled at me about last season was how much I would cringe and gripe and complain about some of the decision making and the choices that the characters were making, as if I didn't understand why they were doing it. At the time, I look back and I realized I was a little bit immature, and maybe there was times where I wasn't giving enough weight to how much they're doing, and at the time the way they're building a character, they're making decisions that I didn't quite understand. The nice thing about Arcane season 2 is I don't have to deal with that because I now see, and the show is doing a good job in these first 3 episodes of reinforcing everybody's reasons, everybody's why, everybody's snake in the race. And everybody so far has been sticking to the motherfucking guns about what they're doing and why they're doing it. And their decisions all reflect exactly why they're doing what they're doing. And it just makes sense on this side of things. Everything everybody's doing makes sense. The only person who I still was struggling with was Ambessa. I was like, Ambessa seems like she's just a brute, a power hungry brute that's trying to come over to Piltover and just take over or establish her dominance. But I was like, but why? Her own nation seems to be good and thriving. Everything's good on that side. Why would she come over here and not embark, put herself into everything that's currently going on? It doesn't make sense to me. It just really didn't make sense to me, right? But then I really sat back and I examined, and in episode 3, we really get the answer as to why she's doing all this. And it's very simple. You sometimes when you run and when an immovable force runs into an immovable object, something's gotta budge. And it seems like in her backstory of what we're not privy to is the disappearance slash murder of her son is suspect now. It appears that she's either working for an organization or an entity that is greater or stronger than her. And if it's not that, she owes an entity or an organization. She owes them a whole bunch, and she's trying to find a way to pay it back to get out from under their thumb. Either way, I knew that she was moving a little too shady for reasons that didn't make sense to me of why she's being shady. Once you put this little shadow organization or this shadow entity that's pushing her, it just makes sense. All her motivations, everything she's doing just makes sense. And right now, that is my favorite thing about Arcane Season 2, that all the pieces are coming together in a way where everything just tracks and makes sense to me. The motivations, the reason why people are doing stuff or aren't doing stuff, it makes sense. Just absolutely makes sense. It's devastation all around for Piltover and Zahn. And Kate's campaign, like for instance, what I'm saying, Kate's campaign to get Jinx has failed so far, and it's because Vi also is having this issue where she's fighting she's trying to be a part of both worlds. She both wants to be like a queen boss of the underworld and feared, but she also wants to be like a petite little lady, just a girl of Piltover, and be like babied by her woman. And it's like, I know that's what you want, but you have unfinished business in the underworld and you have unfinished business in Piltover. So you have to choose, are you a Zahn or you a Piltover? Because either way, you need to close the door on something and pick a side. As we saw in the episode 3 of Arcane, she still isn't able to pick a side, and that led to some craziness at the end that a lot of people had to pay for. We once again came down to, is it worth risking one innocent person to save 10,000 real innocent lives? Is that something that we're looking at? Can you do that and look yourself in the mirror and still love yourself every day? Or will you forever look at yourself as a monster? I've never been put in the position to make that call, but as I am right now, I would like to think I will take one innocent to save 10,000 innocents. That's how I like to think I would be. But then you put it as, that's one of my homeboys, that's my brother, one of my little brothers. I don't know if I make the same decision. I would like to think I would though. I ain't gonna hold you. I would like to think I'd be like, nah, hey man, using the way, bro. Using the way. Oh, actually, no, sorry. That's not equivalent. That's not equivalent. Because if I knew my sibling had to go to save 10,000 lives, like I knew they was doing heinous stuff, I know I'm standing on business. They got to go. I'm not looking back on it. Yo, you was a problem. I'm sorry, my G. Out of here. But if an innocent tried to get in the way and I gotta decide between that one innocent who's trying to stop me from saving 10,000 lives versus 10,000 lives, yeah, bro, I'm saving 10,000 lives, and I don't care if I don't love myself when I look in the mirror every day. I'm gonna know eventually I did the right fucking thing. But Vi just continues to try and live in both worlds. So now she's blurring lines with her decision making, and she's gaslighting herself into believing something that she doesn't actually believe. She keeps saying all the right things. Jinx isn't my sister. Jinx isn't my sister. But I don't believe you. I don't believe you, Vi. By your actions and by your movements, I just don't believe that you actually believe it. Otherwise, that last episode would have ended way different. I believe that Jinx has more. I believe Jinx is standing on more business and what she's willing to do. And I think she was ready to go and be done, and you didn't, and you failed to do it because you faltered in how you feel about the situation. That's just me. That's just me. But the last part I'll say about Arcane, the current world building, where I think it's really a dynamic of looking at society we as we are now versus society in the Arcane. It's really holding up a mirror to say Hex Tech. Every time we use it, we're upsetting the Arcane, and because we're upsetting the Arcane, it's gonna start striking back and make things shit for us and ruin our world. And then we have to wake up every day and be like, we focus on fossil fuels and only fossil fuels. And because we keep focusing on fossil fuels, one day we're gonna have to wake up and one day it's gonna start ruining, affecting our lives, and we're gonna have to wake up and start dealing with it. I feel like it's a parallel story right there. And some people won't agree. Some people say, oh, you're dead on. Some people say you're way off base. That's what I think is being depicted. That's what I think they're talking to us about. But again, I'm not the writer. I'm not a dev. This is an original story. So let me know what you think down below. Of course, if you're commenting on YouTube or if you're commenting on motherfucking Spotify. It depends which one you're on. But I know, but yeah, that's Arcane. Arcane's absolute fire. And those are the tips we're going to talk about today. We're going to get out of these tips and we're going to move on to the next segment. Oh, but first we're going to take some calls from the people. Go through that real quick. Even I was booking, man, I had people do read all that, read that. We hear, as a god, he probably thinks all the worthy sacrifices are divine in their own. Jugram went full Gluck Gluck 9000. Is that his name, Jugram, for the Almighty? Without Fullbringer, we won't have Uncle Shu. Facts. I hear his friends are the real deal. 100% agree. 100% agree with that one. I just need who's thicker between Aira and Momo. Then my bias will show. This fucking guy. She's like that mean ass cat in Ghost Stories dub. I never saw Ghost Stories. Don't judge me. It seems like ghosts in this world are like crackheads. You make eye contact, you're effed. A little bit, honestly. Just a little bit, right? The Witcher is the goat though. King Witcher. So are blind people immune? Immune to flashbangs? Bro, stop. Bro, oh my god. Y'all are going to hell. Y'all are actually going to hell. Shadow getting suffer every week. Honestly, I feel that. I actually absolutely feel that. But okay.